Sup you guys, ASD Classified here. So, the Saban brand's era of Power Rangers is definitely an era that happened. It happened. So, you may be aware of this, but I originally started my whole YouTube channel because I wanted to celebrate the fact that Saban bought back the Power Rangers franchise and that Saban Brands was going to be producing new Power Ranger seasons, starting with Power Rangers Samurai. You know, that's how this whole channel started, okay? I was super hyped for Samurai, if you can imagine that. So, yeah, Saban Brands made 8 years worth of Power Ranger seasons, right? For better or worse, that happened. So it's only fitting that I make this video to talk about the most memorable, iconic, or rather infamous moments that came from all 8 years of these Saban Brand seasons, right? So yeah, let's just get into it, alright? So let's start with Samurai. Some memorable, iconic, infamous moments from Power Rangers Samurai. Let's start with the fact that we got a female Red Ranger, you know, Lauren Sheba, right? Princess Lauren. So as you guys know, the Red Ranger Club is a huge sausage fest, right? You know, most of the leaders of the power teams are men and men in red. But Lauren is one of the few Red Rangers who was a woman, right? She was the second female Red Ranger that Power Rangers has ever had, you know. But Lauren is definitely the first female Red Ranger to be good and to lead a team of good Red Rangers. So there's that. And Lauren is also a fan favorite. Many fans love Lauren. I happen to love Lauren. Like, what little we got of her, I liked, you know? It's just a shame that her storyline was bogged down so much with all that unnecessary drama coming from her brother JJ. Like, seriously, Jaden and his unnecessary drama. Him just leaving the Sheba house because he lied and he was so ashamed, even though no one on the team cared that he lied, and nobody asked for him to leave his family home because he was still a Sheba himself. He's still related to the Sheba family, and technically he should also be able to do the sealing power too, not just Lauren, but whatever, man. JJ should have just stayed his ass in that house and been a part of the team with his sister. His sister could have been leading the team, and both Red Rangers could have been fighting together, because that's exactly what I wanted to see. But that didn't happen in Shinkanger, so it couldn't happen in Samurai, because the Power Ranger writers were so fixated on copying every single thing from Shinkanger, even if the stuff they were copying did not mesh well at all with the like 1% of original things that they came up with. They didn't give a shit. Had to copy all that stuff from Shinkanger no matter what. So we got the messed up storyline that we did. Nevertheless, Lauren was cool. I love her. I wish she would have gotten better treatment with her character, but oh well, we got what we got. So yeah. Moving on from that, the next moment, Decker and Dayu's devs. Now this was a pleasant surprise. Very pleasant surprise, because I don't think really anybody in the fandom thought that Decker and Dayu were going to die. Yeah, their deaths happened in Shinkanger, but we know Power Rangers. Power Rangers tends to pussy out on killing villains who look like humans, and especially in the Disney seasons. And that one, like the Disney seasons that go on from like what, 2003, 2002 until 2009. So from 2002 until 2009, no human looking villains died, or at least like 99% of the time they didn't die. They usually turned good or they were in prison. So most people did not think that Decker and Dayu were going to die. They were like, okay, so the one original thing they're gonna do is spare Decker and Dayu. But oh no, they died. You know, Decker and JJ had like this pretty cool fight, right? And there was one point where Decker was like going to kill JJ, but oh no, JJ was saved at the last minute by Kevin. Kevin like slit Decker, like he just slashed him in the back and killed him. And it was actually awesome. Like, it's like the one awesome thing that Kevin did, because Kevin was normally lame. So it was an awesome, unexpected moment that Decker died. And that also Dayu later died after that. Like, it was unexpected because it's tragic, you know, because Decker and Dayu, they weren't always evil. They were actually good people. It's just one day Dayu was forced to make a Faustian deal to save her husband's life, and she ended up selling his soul and selling her own soul. It's very tragic. These two didn't really deserve to die, you know. They were just, the Nalox took advantage of them, you know. It's a very tragic story, but their souls, the Power Rangers couldn't save their souls, and they ended up dying. So for Samurai, it's pretty tragic. So kudos. The next moment from Samurai: Clash of the Red Rangers and the magic dimension hopping subway. Oh god. Clash of the Red Rangers. You remember this movie, right? This team up between the Samurai Rangers and Ranger Operator Series Red from RPM. Yeah, Scott Truman teaming up with Samurai Rangers. Oh boy. I hate this team up. This episode, these episodes, this movie, awful. Awful. Okay. Awful for so many reasons. Like, I can't even make sense of this plot even today. It's ridiculous. So we have evil robot, right? Professor Cog, who may or may not be affiliated with Vengex, because Vengex was never mentioned in this fucking episode. So we're just gonna assume he's affiliated with Vengex. So Professor Cog, evil robot, right? He's in the RPM reality. He wants to kill what's left of humanity by poisoning them. Well, how is he gonna go about doing this? Well, obviously, he's gonna travel to another dimension he's never been to before, befriend some demons in that dimension, and ask for their mythical sands and river water to bring that water back to his own dimension and use that evil water to poison humanity in the RPM dimension. Of course! What? Like, I know I said this in my old review of that team up, but it's like, I know there had to be an easier way to poison some humans than traveling to another dimension to convert about with some demons. Like, what? And let's just talk about the magic dimension hopping subway. Where the hell did that come from? Professor Cog just used it, and then Scott used it too to get to the main Power Ranger timeline. One, where did Professor Cog get this magic dimension hopping subway? Two, why does Scott also have access to it? Like, what? Where did this come from? And why would you make an episode and not explain this? I don't even understand. I don't understand at all. Especially when we're talking about RPM. RPM is like the most realistic Power Ranger season there is. And I know we're talking about Power Rangers, right? There's no realism. But RPM is the closest to realism it gets when we're talking about Power Rangers. So for y'all to pull this crap about the magic dimension hopping subways with RPM, it makes zero sense. Especially when RPM had like an episode that specifically talked about shit like this, where it was about time travel, but same diff, man, same diff. Like, I think it was the episode where Colonel Truman was trying to arrest Dr. K, and she specifically said some stuff like, oh, if I could, you know, turn back time, you know, like if I had a time machine, I would go back time and stop myself from ever making the Vengex virus. But I can't do that. And we just have to go forward, right? Well, now we have magic dimension hopping subways, and in the future, by Ninja Steel, well, RPM will have access to time travel technology via Time Force. So great, guys. And let's also talk about Scott, right? Scott had to stay in suit the entire time during that team up because he was so afraid to breathe the Earth's air, I guess, in the main timeline. He was so afraid of that Earth's air. It's like, oh, it might not be compatible with me. Ooh, what an interesting concept that I'm sure they would never abandon and forget about, right? Team Up is trash. If you are gonna watch it, I would just mute it because the action is pretty good. But other than that, Alright, that's enough of Samurai. Let's get to Megaforce. So obviously one of the most memorable moments of Megaforce is when Gosei decides to give the Rangers their Super Mega Mode. Because he just can. You know, he had these powers the entire time. But now, I guess he just feels like giving them these powers, which allows them to access Legendary Mode, which gives the Rangers the power to transform into any Ranger power ever. Pretty much. All the past Ranger suits, all the past Ranger weaponry, even some of the old Zords, the Megaforce Rangers had access to. Right? Thanks to Gokaiger footage. Gokaiger gave Power Rangers such an amazing gimmick. Such an amazing, awesome gimmick. Ranger keys, giving you the power to transform into all these past Ranger suits for the 20th or 21st anniversary season. Such a brilliant, simple concept, right? And it really is. Like, we can say what we want to say about Megaforce and Super Megaforce, but it is nice to see the Rangers, you know, transform into those past suits and to see those past suits fight and stuff. That is nice to see. Where things get iffy is where the Power Rangers, the Megaforce Rangers, not only turn into past Ranger suits, but then they just start turning into Super Sentai suits. Oh, goodness. Yes! Not only do they turn into past Power Ranger suits, but then they start turning into Super Sentai only suits. And that just... No. No. You know, it started with the Dire Ranger suits, right? Like, I think that was the first Super Sentai only suits they turned into. So Gosei, at least they prepared us with the Dire Ranger suits when Gosei was like, oh, Rangers, you now have access to powers never seen before on this planet. And then the Rangers turn into the Dire Ranger suits and they talking about bring on the new powers.
Power Rangers, new powers. They have powers that are new.
Oh, but it didn't stop there, you know. After the Dire Ranger suits, you know, they just got bold with it. They started turning into all types of Super Sentai suits. From like, what, Mask Man and Flash Man and Dragon Power Blitz. What was that, Change Man or something? All types of fucking Super Sentai that never was in Power Rangers before. It's like, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? Okay, I was definitely a part of the Power Ranger fans that did not want any Super Sentai only suits in Megaforce, because this is a Power Ranger anniversary season. No, why would you put Super Sentai only suits in here? But if you were gonna do that, at least give them some type of story. Explain where these suits come from. You know, like say like, oh, these are like some alien rangers from random ass planet. You know, something, some type of story. But Megaforce could not be bothered to do that. Okay, they were just turning into suits because, hey, this is some Super Sentai footage that we paid for and we're gonna use it. And that was the only excuse in our 21st anniversary season. Disgusting. Next on the list, let's talk about Varrock is back. Okay, Varrock is back. It was a two-parter that I don't want to say that I dislike it. Well, I do dislike it, but it is just hilarious to me. It is hilarious to me because the Rangers were really acting like they were going through it. It's just, it's hilarious to me. Varrock returns. He takes away the Megaforce Rangers' abilities to use their Super Mega Mode and their legendary powers, right? Oh no, what does this mean? This means they just have to fight with their regular Ranger powers, like any other Ranger team would. But they were acting like they were just going through like the worst thing ever. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? You fools have 2 sets of Ranger powers and 2 sets of Zords. Most Ranger teams only have 1 set of Ranger powers and Zords. You got stripped of 1 set. You still have a whole set of Ranger powers to use like elemental attacks and all these different weapons, and you have Ultra Mode, and you have all these different Zords that you have been letting collect dust for months, that you're like, oh, let's call on these Gosei Zords again. Like, are you serious? But they are really sitting here acting like they going through like the worst fight ever in life. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. But that's not even what I'm going to talk about. Like, I am talking about a specific moment that happened in Varrock is Back, and that is T-Roy turning into a Super Saiyan and punching a brainwashed Robo Knight. Oh God. This scene, I don't think I've ever talked about this on my YouTube channel. Wow. just wow. Just wow. Because it was never explained where this came from. Like, he was fighting, T-Roy was fighting Robo Knight unmorphed, right? Unmorphed. No Ranger powers, you know, bad acting like everywhere. Robo Knight, you have my mission to fulfill. You know, all that terribleness that we've come to expect from Troy. And then there's just that scene where he's just screaming, and you got the light from like the Super Saiyan light, and he just punches Robo Knight, and Robo Knight's programming, I don't know, turns him good again or some shit. It's ridiculous, and it is one of the most infamous, memorable moments from Saban brand. Oh my God. That shit was talked about for weeks. Wow. Just wow. Just wow. Alright, and the last memorable moment from Megaforce would be the legendary battle. Oh boy. So in the legendary battle, every single Power Ranger ever shows up to help the Super Megaforce Rangers fight. This sounds way better on paper than it actually was. Picture it, you guys. Just picture it. The Megaforce Rangers have to contend with the biggest battle of their lives, right? The evil villains have summoned a huge alien armada to take over the Earth. You know, thousands and thousands of warships, right? The Rangers engage these warships with their Zords, but the alien armada is so strong and numerous that their Zords are defeated. All 12 billion of their Zords are defeated. The Rangers are down and out. Oh no, what we gonna do? Well, the Megaforce Rangers dust the shoulders off. They get back in the battle. They get their second win. And somehow, through plot convenience, they manage to destroy all of the thousands upon thousands of alien warships. Destroy them all on their own. They also destroy the head villain on their own. And then after that, oh no, you guys, there are some foot soldiers left. And for some reason, the Megaforce Rangers are concerned about foot soldiers, even though they have literally fought this number of foot soldiers in like every episode. But they are concerned about these foot soldiers. But don't you worry, because every single Power Ranger ever has shown up to help the Rangers fight some foot soldiers. Every Ranger ever has shown up to help the Megaforce Rangers fight some putties. And they all fight the putties in the last 5 minutes of the episode. But it gets better than that. Most of this fight footage we have seen before. Thanks to everybody's favorite soothsayer. You know, T-Roy had a vision in the first episode of Megaforce the year prior. And we saw most of this footage before. Most of this Sentai footage. Mind you, couldn't even be bothered to film that much original shit. Sentai footage. Most of this we have seen before. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And not only that, Robo Knight is there. Robo Knight died in the Varrock is Back two-parter. But he's back. I'm sure there's a simple explanation for that, but we damn sure didn't get it. He's just back. He's just there. 5-minute fight is done. The putties have been all defeated. Everybody hit him in the Z. And then Tommy and the others teleport in the blinding light. and Megaforce. There's your legendary battle. Game over. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Look, I have said enough. You can watch my old review of that. Definitely a memorable, infamous moment of Saban brand seasons. My God. Although my favorite part of the legendary battle is Dana running in them high heels to save somebody. Brava. Okay, to say something else nice about the legendary battle, despite everything, it was nice to see, you know, the few veteran Rangers they did get to come back. It was nice to see them, you know, Cassie and TJ and stuff, you know, even if most of them didn't get lines, you know, like Mikey and Emily. But, you know, it was still nice to see them there. And it was also nice to see all those Ranger suits, you know, together in one place at the Rock Quarry. That was nice too. So, you know, let me be a little nice. Alright, moving on to Dino Charge memorable moments. I guess I would have to first talk about the fact that we got a black pink Ranger. First time we ever got that. So a black female was chosen by the Pink Energem to be a Power Ranger. Shelby, she was awesome. I love her. I loved her character. And yeah, pretty fucking cool. It was also the first time we had a black woman serve as a Power Ranger since 2011. So it had been a long time, you know. We had Aisha, we had Tanya, then we had Katie in 2001, and then it's been a long time, but then Shelby came in. Black girl magic. Alright, so the next memorable moment, I believe this was the second Halloween special that Dino Charge did. I think it was Dino Supercharger's Halloween special, where they introduced the concept of the Halloween Court. Oh God. Yes, the Halloween Court. I've never talked about them on my channel. I don't believe I have. The idea of the Halloween Court is both awesome and stupid all at the same time. And I don't know, I still don't know how I necessarily feel about it. I like the idea of an intergalactic court that has all this power, that could even destroy the Power Rangers if they wanted to. I'm just not so sure that I like the idea of an intergalactic court with this Halloween theme, and the judges are pumpkins, and and the court clerk is a witch, and I don't know. I don't know about that. Why is the Halloween court a thing in the first place? And Keeper said that they are like very powerful, and they really are. We've seen them. They can vaporize a monster like that. They could vaporize the Power Rangers like that if they want to. It's crazy. And they act like they're good, but they don't seem to be that good. But I guess that's just the justice system for you. It's just, it is crazy. And Dino Charge is not in the main Power Ranger timeline. Ninja Steel is in the main Power Ranger timeline. And the Halloween Court was also in Ninja Steel for their Halloween episode. So the intergalactic court also transcends dimensions. How powerful are they? I just had to put them on the list because the Halloween court stands out to me. It stands out to me as a very memorable and infamous moment in these stupid Saban brand seasons. Why? And the last memorable moment from the Dino Charge seasons, of course, the finale.
You know what this means? We mess with the space-time continuum and stuff.
What?
Time travel. Dinosaurs. Of course. Because what the fuck? Oh my God. Dino Charge was just a normal run-of-the-mill season until that finale. That finale was all types of batshit crazy. Time travel antics that didn't even need to happen happened. None of the time travel shenanigans made any sense. Like, 0 sense. Clearly nobody in the writing staff put any thought into this episode. They just wrote shit. Okay? And then they had the nerve to say, oh, we stopped the dinosaurs from being extinct and now dinosaurs are here. Like, the world is exactly how we left it, but now there's dinosaurs around. Like, again, I've already had my temper tantrum over this, but it is a very infamous moment. It just didn't need to happen. And because it did happen, they then had to retcon Dino Charge and say that it's not in the main Power Ranger timeline anymore. It's its own alternate dimension, you guys. Dino Charge could have fit just fine in the regular main timeline if you didn't do this time travel dinosaur bull. But you did, and here we are. And finally, we get to Ninja Steel. Well, honestly, to me, Ninja Steel didn't really do anything memorable except the 25th anniversary team up, Dimensions in Danger. That's the only thing that stands out to me from 2 years of Ninja Steel, to be quite honest. That team up is the best thing that Ninja Steel did. And it was nice seeing the veteran Rangers that returned for that episode return. You know, Tommy and Tommy's friends and Tommy's wife and, you know, Tommy. So we all know that Dimensions in Danger is a Shattered Grid ripoff. Like, we know that. But by Ninja Steel standards, the episode was decent. It's enjoyable enough. And it gave us a lot of cool things. Like the Master Morpher. Oh, the Master Morpher. Like one of the most brilliant concepts that ever came from these Saban brand seasons. Ugh, amazing. The Rangers no longer need a magic dimension hopping subway to travel across dimensions. See, Wesley Collins, Red Time Force Ranger, he has these special remotes issued by Time Force, and he can use these remotes to travel across the dimensions and also travel through time. And he's also given these remotes to various Rangers of the past, like Coda has one, Gemma has one from the RPM universe. So now RPM, they can travel through dimensions and time without magic dimension hopping subway. It's just... like I said earlier, it's just very weird for RPM, the most realistic season of all, to now just have magic devices to travel through dimensions and time. But whatever. You know, whatever, man, whatever. And it's just weird that Time Force would be okay with giving all these non-Time Force operatives time traveling devices and dimension hopping devices, when in Dimensions in Danger they said that traveling through the dimensions is dangerous. Like, using those remotes, it causes a lot of consequences or whatever, should only be used in emergencies, blah blah blah. Okay, but whatever. Like I said, it was cool to see the veteran Rangers return and kick butt. You know, even if it was only like, what, 20 minutes or something. Should have been an hour, but whatever. We got what we got. Okay, we got what we got. And that's that. So yeah, those are some of the most memorable, iconic, infamous moments from all of these Saban brand seasons. So if you feel that there are other memorable moments from these seasons that I missed, you know, you can always leave me a comment about it if you would be so kind. Alright, later guys. Jamata.